Hey everybody, and welcome back to Your Next Cast. Thank you so much for checking out another episode. I really appreciate it. If this is your first time to the channel, I appreciate you spending some time with us. Please leave a comment below. I would love to connect with you. If you enjoy the content, throw that thumbs up. Might even want to hit that subscribe button right down below. So in today's video, I want to talk about how I position myself on docks and what I look for to be able to efficiently and effectively catch largemouth bass. Recently this year, I posted 2 videos that were super long. A few people actually watched all of those videos and were just like, how in the world are you doing that? You know, in 2 hours, 90 minutes, you're catching that many fish. And, you know, all glory goes to God. Like, God has to send the fish. But we do also have to be prepared. And I think this video can help you be prepared to catch fish on your next cast. So what I'm going to talk about today, and the wind is kind of blowing me into position, is the shade that's on the docks, specifically when the sun is higher up in the sky. So right now it's about 10:30. Sun's not quite overhead, but as you can see, the sun is behind you and kind of shooting in the direction to hit me, of course, because I'm making a YouTube video and I need good lighting. But the same thing is happening on the docks as well. So if you see, I'm gonna show you real quick. This dock right here, the sun's shining on top of it, but it's creating shade right beside it. It's doing the same thing on that dock right there, where that owl is sitting on top of. That's the dock we're actually gonna fish. But I wanna show you here kind of what's happening with the shade, because you see there's sunlight on that side, but that shade is where bass will sit because fish don't have eyelids. And so they need protection from the sun. And many times they'll sit right in that shade. And what a good friend of mine taught me and told me a long time ago was, if you don't see any structure, shade lines can act just like structure does. Shade lines can act the same way as an object would, for example, in the water. It can create a break that fish will gravitate toward. And so what I do, actually, this is a good example right here too that you can probably see better. You see the sun shining and you see the silhouette that it leaves right in the water. And what you, ooh, a bass just shot out. I don't know if you saw that. Oh my goodness, that was cool. But a bass just literally shot out of there. I hope, because this water is so clear, you can see it on film. But the bass sit right in those shadows. And so had I been actually fishing right now, I probably would have caught that fish, because I would have thrown right in that shadow, and that fish would have most likely swallowed, you know, my worm or my Keitech or whatever I was throwing. So that's what you're looking for, not out here in this light part, out here in the shadow. So what we're gonna do as we go across this dock right here that's coming up is we're just gonna pitch parallel to the dock structure in that shadow. And what we're gonna do is try to pitch as far back as we can. It looks like there's a ladder there, and we're just gonna swim it straight back out. And what should happen is, I think there's gonna be bass sitting in that shade, just like in that spot right there that we just left. So let's go give that a try. So I'm gonna fish with the Keitech just because it's been working like crazy. If you saw the second really long video that I did recently, you would have saw that it's the same fishing trip. Like, I fished for 2 hours just now, caught a ton of fish in 2 hours. Well, not a ton, a lot, I think, of largemouth bass. And so I figured, you know what, this would be a good opportunity to show people exactly kind of what I do and what I'm talking about more up close, because sometimes when I'm saying it, you don't actually get to see what I'm talking about. So the dock that I was just telling you about, I'm gonna drift by it and kind of point out some of those things I was just talking about, and then I'm gonna fire a Keitech back there and see what happens. So I'm gonna do that really slowly first so I don't spook any fish. But let me grab this back off so you can see it. But if you see right there on the dock, you can see, of course, under the dock is shaded, but not all of it is shaded. Like, you can see that the sun, because of the angle, is actually putting some sunlight under the dock. So bass aren't gonna sit there, they're gonna sit in that shade. But the thing is, the same width of the dock still has a shadow that is that same width. So on the other side is where we're gonna see that shade. So we're gonna hop over there real quick. Now, I want you to keep in mind that I am not an expert pro fisherman. I'm just telling you, you know, what works for me. And so as we get ready to slide by this dock, you see Mr. Owl right there, but you see how the shadow And this can work for any dock in any direction the sun is pointing. You just want to know where that is. So the sun is over here shining down, and you see the shadow that it casts right there and the steps. What we're going to do is float back by here, throw right to that step, and then pull back, because a bass should be sitting in that shaded area right there. And that's pretty much the pattern that I've run a lot on docks. I plan to do more videos on what I look for on docks and how I actually catch them. I don't fish them as effectively as some people might. Like, I could probably sit at one dock, make pitches on each side, slide a worm under there in multiple directions, and probably pick up more fish. I just personally don't take the time to do that. I just keep hitting dock. And that's just because I tend to go faster. I don't want to take the time to sit there and pick one dock apart. So I just kind of hit the sides, hit the front, try to do it accurately. And I think that helps my efficiency. That helps me get to more docks and hopefully get to more active fish. But anyway, I'm going to spin the boat back around, go back down there, kind of float through. That's the other key right now that's helping me, is I have a good breeze that's blowing me across. So I'm not using any trolling motor at all. And that helps, you know, not spook the fish at all. So I'm just gonna slide back by there, cast, and hopefully, for the sake of this video, we're gonna catch fish. So with the magic of video, here we go. Here we go. Textbook. Can we call it, or can we call it? Nice, right? Not a big one, but one is better than none. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully on your next cast, if you get near some docks, these tips will help you pick up a few more in the boat. See you next time.